Guys, what's going on? Welcome to Serial at Midnight. My name is Heath.
And I'm Bree.
And we are just back from seeing Marvel's new film, Captain Marvel.
We literally just walked in the door.
Literally, yeah. Are you upset with me about that?
No, I'm not upset at all. I'm just letting the people know.
We gotta record right now!
We walked in, fed the cats, and here we are.
Put your microphone on! But we haven't talked about it. That's exactly. Put your microphone on. But we haven't talked about it.
No, we haven't.
We haven't discussed the movie. In fact, we made a point not to discuss the movie.
Yes. Well, you were better at it than I was. I kept trying to talk about it.
You did. You're like, well, what do you think about... So this is going to be largely a spoiler-free review, conversation, whatever. And I may do just like a couple minutes at the end where we talk less non-spoilery, but I don't want to talk about like plot details necessarily. I'm not into spoiling it, but I do have some more specific things I want to say. So I'll let you guys know when we get to that point. But this is largely going to be, spoiler-free for everybody who wants our take on Captain Marvel. So, what do you think about Captain Marvel, Bree?
Do you mean the movie or Captain Marvel herself?
You know what? Both.
Okay. Well, I'll just be short and sweet.
I'll say for me, they're not exactly the same thing.
Okay. Well, I don't know enough to comment other than to just say, it's fine. I liked it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I will take that and I will extrapolate because that's basically how I feel, but I can also say, I really like Captain Marvel. I've read Captain Marvel for years. I know who the character is. The original Captain Marvel, The Life and Death of Captain Marvel is a great, one of the landmark stories of like Space Marvel storytelling. There was a Captain Marvel before the Captain Marvel we see now.
Mm-hmm. Has it always been a woman?
No.
Okay.
No. So this is kind of like Captain Marvel 2.0. And it's good. Here's the thing. I really like Captain Marvel. I like this character from this movie. I like where this story, I like the introduction of Captain Marvel to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This movie is split into 3 acts. I like Act 3 a lot.
I agree.
I don't really care at all for Acts 1 or 2. I think it's clunky. I think it's messy.
Yeah.
I think that, again, like you said, it's fine. This feels like this feels like a Marvel movie from 10 years ago, from the beginning of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like if you think about like the Edward Norton Hulk movie.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
We haven't watched that?
No.
Oh wow.
It's okay.
You know what movie? Like this reminds me kind of Thor 2.
Oh.
In that it's got a character that I care about. I just don't care about all the business around the character itself.
Yeah.
But see, I'm glad you're here. Because I suspect that there will be a lot of this movie. From what we gather, this movie's already like huge numbers. They're like it's saving 2019 single-handedly, saving the financial box office of 2019.
Even though it's only March.
Well, but everything's been in a slump, and this movie comes along and it overperforms.
Okay.
And I think we're going to get a lot of hyperbole about the movie. People are going to love the movie. And here's the important part. I mean, this is cool because it is a strong female character. We have a daughter.
Yeah. Strong
female characters are important. I want her to have strong, yes, now there's another, it's not just Wonder Woman. It's not just, Scarlet, Black Witch, Scarlet Witch and Black Widow.
Black Widow, yes.
You can see, yeah. See, somebody's going to be like, all women superheroes look the same to that guy.
It's not true at all.
But, all those things are coming. There's going to be the Captain Marvel t-shirts, Captain Marvel Halloween costumes. Little girls are going to dress as Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I've already gotten emails from places where I shop for Captain Marvel merchandise.
Hot Topic. There's going to be a wall of Hot Topic merchandise.
It was her universe.
Was it her universe? Well, and see, all those things are cause to celebrate.
Yeah.
But the movie itself just it's not as good as it should be. And I feel like that's a controversial take, but down the line, a year from now, when everything's blown over, I think people are going to look back and be like, yeah, there's not a whole lot there. And again, 10 years ago, Thor 1, Thor 2 era, Iron Man 2, kind of where you have a hero. They're still kind of figuring it out. This is a very, it's messy. It's kind of a messy movie. Huh?
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, so like the first part of the movie.
Don't spoil anything.
I'm not going to spoil anything.
We can't spoil
I was just going to
anything.
spoil the fact that I yawned through most of the first part of the movie.
And you told me you were thinking about, like, should I go get my eyes checked for contacts during the movie? And I was bored too. That's the thing. I was bored.
I was like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Like, get up and walk around.
And this is a movie with Jude Law that, I mean, I like Jude Law, but I think you like Jude Law on a whole different level than I like Jude Law, right? Because
I mean, I used to until he's had some problems, but yeah.
Snap! I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I do like Jude Law, and I like Brie Larson.
I like Brie Larson too, and I like Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah,
but they don't have it just doesn't. There's not enough story, and I feel like A to B to get to C. Boy, A and B is a mess. And there's a cleaner way to tell that story that doesn't require, like, notes or, like, this is this and this and this and
I mean,
this.
I like that it wasn't necessarily linear storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can appreciate that because it's harder to tell a story that way. And it really makes you have to pay attention. But at the same time, not everything that happened in that movie was interesting to me.
And a lot of the things that happened in that movie happened just to give us running time. They weren't story driven. There's a lot of action beats in the movie where I would just, like you, I would just find myself drifting off because it doesn't really matter. Mm-hmm. It's not grounded in any stakes that we should care about.
Right.
It's like, oh, it's time for a chase, so let's do a chase. Oh, it's time for like a twist turn, so let's have that. But none of it really felt like it needed to take place that way. Again, it's fine. And in a world,
the movie is fine. It's very watchable.
It's very. It's just.
Yeah. It's one of those movies where it doesn't.
For
me, it didn't hold my attention the entire movie.
Given the stakes of the Marvel Universe and where we are in the Marvel Cinematic Universe now, with Avengers Endgame about to hit, it's a big step back. And I understand the thinking behind it, because you got to cool it down. It's like with wrestling. Like, before you have a big main event match, you got to throw something out that kind of cools people back. You can't do like 3 main event matches in a row. You got to cool it down a little bit. So that when, like, the big stuff hits, you can, like, everybody gets back on their feet. But this is more than a cool down movie. This is a movie that has some genuine problems. But I like Captain Marvel, and where this movie ends with Captain Marvel, again, no spoilers, but introducing Captain Marvel to the overall ensemble, as she will be, as now, like, as an ensemble member of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. But in her own story, it just doesn't have... Like, it's been a while since I felt this way about a Marvel movie, because Doctor Strange, in my opinion, knocked it out of the park. Black Panther, obviously.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody loves Black Panther, I believe.
Yeah.
Like, there's just something missing. The thing that makes a Marvel movie that much better, I don't think it's here. And I don't even know exactly what it is. I just know it's not here. Maybe it's a sense of fun, of whimsy, of, like, I don't know.
Like balancing the fun with the
and I normally really like the hardcore science fiction Marvel movies. The Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, Thor 3 is my favorite of all of them, because it's so hardcore sci-fi. This one goes really hardcore sci-fi, and I didn't care. Like, I wasn't interested in where it was going.
I mean, I was interested in certain aspects of it, and I kept thinking, like, oh, by the end of the movie, by the third act, I'm sure I will really like Captain Marvel. They'll pull it out, and it'll be fine. And they did. I mean, I definitely... I mean, I loved her at the end of the movie. And I thought the end was awesome. But it for me, it took a while to get there. It took too long to get there.
So now I want to get into a couple of things that are not really spoilery. I'm not going to tell you how things happen or whatever, but I am going to be a little bit more specific. So if that's not your cup of tea or whatever, thank you so much for watching.
Stop now.
Yeah, stop now. But again, I'm not here to ruin the movie for anybody. I just want to talk a little bit about Ben Mendelsohn. I want to talk about, because Ben Mendelsohn, so I liked him in Rogue One as the bad guy in Rogue One. Too. I don't like him in Ready Player One. And I don't
forgot he was in that, but I also didn't really pay careful attention to that movie.
Right. And I don't really like him here. I'm kind of like, am I done with Ben Mendelsohn? Like, he's just the same guy. And now, granted, we can't talk too specifically about Ben Mendelsohn in this movie, but he gives basically the same performance he always gives. he's like, you know, the hard guy. He's the hard guy who talks like this, and sometimes he uses his own accent, and sometimes he talks like an American, and it sounds very fake when he talks like an American.
Did he talk like an American in this movie?
Yes, he did. For some of it.
Oh. Clearly, I was not.
Yeah, you were not. Bree was not invested in this movie. There was one other thing. The whole, so that they regress, like Samuel Jackson in this movie. It takes place in the 90s, which in theory is really cool to me. I like the idea of a movie set in the 90s, but
I did like that, and I liked the music.
Well, crap.
The 90s, you don't like the 90s?
No, that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say, if you put 100 people in a room, and you say, we're writing a movie about the 90s, what songs should be in it? These are the songs that are in it. It's so on the nose.
It is.
It's like the most obvious.
I liked it.
Yeah, so see, this is why.
That's why I'm here.
A balance is good.
I provide balance.
Yeah, you do provide balance. You always provide balance. That's why I really appreciate you, because listen, I'm going for it. I'm telling exactly what I think about this movie. I'm gesturing, I'm pointing at the screen, Harrison Ford style.
Big pointing.
Get off my plane. But like the music choices are so obvious. It's like the same as, I'm not even gonna mention them because I don't want to spoil anything for people, but that bothered me a little bit. It's like, could we be any more hacky with what we're doing here? Like, so many things in this movie are just like the lowest hanging fruit. And then I will say that Samuel Jackson is in this movie as like they've used that digital de-aging thing that they do. Like
they did with Kurt Russell.
Yes, in Guardians. And with Robert Downey Jr. in, was it Iron Man 3 is the one they did that in? And also with Agent Coulson. Clark Gregg? What? Agent Coulson. De-aged as well. Like they've taken like 20 years off these guys. And it works fine, I guess. But so Samuel L. Jackson, like Nick Fury has both eyes. And I was like, so help me. If they explain how he loses his eye in this movie, that's the stupidest thing they could do. That would be the easiest, hackiest thing for this movie to do. And they do it. And they don't even do it in a good way. Like it bothers me so much. It's that thing where George Lucas is like, well, I'm going to do a prequel. Let's put Chewbacca in a prequel. And then like he'll meet Yoda. And then, like, just because you have all these things, you don't have to connect them. I don't feel like most stories benefit from taking mystery out of something. Nick Fury's eye patch is a great mystery. It adds mystery to the character. It's like, we don't really want Wolverine's origin because it demystifies that character. Mystery is good for characters. And as soon as you start down that road, you make that character less of an enigma, and the Nick Fury character is built on enigma, and so I really did not like the way. I think
that's a thing that we suffer from in our society. Is everybody wants an explanation for everything, and they want things to be everything to be connected.
Yes.
So
they want to. There's in Star Wars: The Force Awakens, there's a scene where Rey is leaning against the downed AT-AT Walker, like a fallen AT-AT, and then there's a novel. Called Lost Stars, it's called Lost Stars, that explains how that very AT-AT fell over. I don't need that.
We were all wondering.
That shrinks it shrinks the scope of this universe. And so when you tell me how Nick Fury got his eye patch, I don't want or need to know that. That's not pertinent information.
Do you know what's funny?
What?
Is
you like it?
No, it's I didn't really care. I wasn't wondering how he got his eye patch. Ever. Never. But through this whole movie, I was like, why does Samuel L. Jackson look different?
He's got hair?
I was like, I mean, I know they de-aged him, but like, what is it that I can't put my finger on? And I don't know if it was just my state of being.
To be fair, we should tell people you're on some medication right now.
Well, I had 2 root canals this week. So I am a little tired and not my whole self.
And she's on meds too.
Yeah.
But I don't see. But that if the movie had been good, it would have kept you. It would have kept you engaged.
Even still, yes, it would have. But I'm definitely not firing on all cylinders at this point. Yeah. But yeah, through the whole, I was like, what is so different about him?
He looks so much younger.
Then when they explained how I was like, oh yeah, he wears an eye patch. And
he looks like he did in Die Hard with a Vengeance. Yeah, but so that effect was pretty good. There were a few scenes where I was like, well, I can kind of tell, like an eyebrow doesn't move like it's supposed to or something. Yeah. But it's fine. Yeah. So I recommend Captain Marvel,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't like, you gotta go see Captain Marvel.
Yeah, it's not one of those like have-tos,
Yeah.
but it's good. I mean, I think anybody who saw it would enjoy. The people in the movie theater seem to really like it, don't you think?
I don't know.
Like their reaction at the end. Well, the ladies in front of us seem to really like it, but
I usually don't pay attention to what other people around me think about something.
okay.
To be honest.
Well, I'm really invested in other people because I work with people all day. That's what I do.
I think we've just described the dichotomy of our in his own world, paying attention to the surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but it's good, but it's not great. It's not a home run. I think it'll be more interesting to see how this character functions in a larger universe, especially post Avengers Endgame, because I think that we're going to have a reduced cast at that point. But who knows?
Never know.
Never know.
That may be true, or we may be surprised. I don't know.
So, I guess that's going to do it. Got anything else?
Well, I would say I agree. The movie wasn't like great or amazing, but it was good, and it's definitely something I would want our daughter to see.
Yeah.
Because with the
Yes.
it shows really good, strong women, which I think is important for her to see.
Yeah.
So
It's a good hero. It's a strong hero.
Yeah.
Not just for I like her too.
I know you do. I'm
a
not
good hero
saying
for
it's
everybody,
just for,
but no, I get what you're
it's good
saying.
to have an example.
And I agree with that. Like it's a good character. It's a strong character. One of the most powerful characters that I think we've seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I just don't think they did a great job bringing her in, telling that story.
Telling her story.
I think the story could have been told better, cleaner.
Can I say, and you can cut this out if you want, but when she
does that thing.
At one point in the movie, I was like, she reminds me of her boyfriend in Scott Pilgrim.
Oh.
Because I'm like, is she vegan now?
I think
like,
she's vegan. Yes. The power of vegan.
That was her power. That's where she got it from.
I think it's in the
Being
trailers,
vegan.
so I think that's okay.
Okay, well, that's what it reminded me
That's
of.
hilarious.
I know.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to leave it. What do you think?
I think so.
All right, guys, thank you for watching this review. What did you think about Captain Marvel? We're doing the Johnny Depp praying hands.
I do that every time. You don't notice
I
that.
do.
Thank you.
What do you guys think about Captain Marvel? Let us know in the comments below. So thank you. You guys take care. And until next time, we will catch you later.